The English opening. You start with c4, and black usual responds with knight f6 and e5 next. After you both develop the knights, you reach this common position where you have a really dynamic move. Knight d5. They will likely trade the knights, and if they play e4, well, they are lost. If you're wondering why, it's because of queen b3. Now they will lose one of these pieces. So if they play knight d4, which is the best move, do not take the pawn. He will win. Instead, trade the knights, develop naturally, castle, and start an attack in the center of the board by bringing your bishop to b2 and playing e3 to open the board. If early from the start, he plays the Indian game, develop your bishop this way. Expand in the center since you already have the c-pawn. The good thing about the English opening is that it's dynamic. Whatever black plays, you can always control the center because you have the help of the c-pawn. The Vienna game. You play knight c3 instead of the usual f3, black will play knight f6, and now you have options. g3, bishop c4, and f4. g3 is more flexible because you basically don't commit to a single plan. d5 is the main move for black. You happily trade pawns, and then develop the bishop. After he takes, it's crucial to take with the b-pawn. Here there is a trap black could fall into if he plays rook b8, because you win his rook. f4 is known as the Vienna gambit, which I have shown in my previous video about chess gambits. It's extremely tricky if black doesn't know what he is doing. You can find the link of that video in the description to learn the Vienna gambit. Now, if you choose to play bishop c4, watch out for knight takes on e4. It might look like a mistake for black, but he will take back one of your pieces and be better early on. Now let's move to the next, the Trompowsky attack. It all starts with d4 this time, and you early on trade your bishop to damage the opponent's pawn structure. You then develop your other bishop on g3 and slowly begin to set up your position. Your goal is to prepare a queenside attack with moves like b3 and c4, together with your queen. Or you can be more direct early on with c4. The goal remains the same, you want to push your pawns supported with the knight on c3 this time. Note this, you don't have to take the knight right from the start. You can play e3 and wait a little bit. A very cool idea is to create this stonewall pawn structure with your bishop protected nicely. Then you want to trade since you have almost every pawn on a black square. Many times you can push on h4, and if the opponent lets you, sacrifice the bishop to perform the Greek gift. If you aren't aware, black can't take the knight because the rook will be open, followed by the queen, so it could look really bad for black. Overall, the Trompowsky is really solid and is recommended for players who understand structure. Time for some openings with the black pieces. The Dutch defense. After d4, you respond with f5. You then get your knight out, play d6, and then I usually play g6 to get my bishop to g7. It might look weird because these squares are exposed, but you have these nicely placed pawns, which help you later on. Now, if he plays the Stoughton gambit, watch out. Take, play knight f6, and if they offer a second pawn, don't take, he will develop fast in the center. Just push the pawn and develop in the center. You then continue to play solidly by developing your pieces and building around that e-pawn. If he plays bishop g5 early on, you need to change your strategy a little. Play bishop g7 first before developing your knight on h6 to then go to f7. Then the structure is similar to the other positions. On to the next. I am sure you are aware of d5 after white plays e4. I recommend going to a 5 because white can fall into this trap. After a few casual development moves, he might completely forget of your queen on a 5 and hand you over his bishop. Anyway, that probably won't happen. But still, the Scandinavian is really solid and can be aggressive if you choose to castle long, then plan an attack on his king side by advancing your pawns. If you choose to go queen d6 instead, that's also considered great. You will develop your knight, and then a really important move, pawn to a6 to prevent knight b5. Then the setup is similar to before. You will develop your bishop to g4, play knight c6, and have the option to castle long. But not right away, because opponent has knight g5 here, so wait a few moves. And now the final one. After a 4, instead of everything that we have seen so far, you play g6 with the idea of bishop g7, of course. White will play d4 since you've allowed him to control the center, and you finish your plan. Your plan is to target the central pawns with your bishop. There are many possible outcomes, but let's see a few. Knight c3, you go for d6 and c6 in the future. If he takes more space, play queen b6 to target his pawn. If he chooses to only advance his pawns, you have nothing to worry about. Go back and take advantage of his advanced pawns later in the game. You have a pawn break in these positions, so always keep that in mind. There you have it. Part 2 is over. If you haven't watched part 1 yet, go ahead and watch it. Comment down below if you think I have missed a well-known opening.